Hi everyone, welcome to the Phoenix in the Moon, and we're going to tackle today on our podcast uh, regarding the Scorpio Rising's career. So let's step in. So we're going to see what's the stirs about their career path of a Scorpio Rising. And if you're Scorpio Rising, you already know you weren't made for a surface level life. So why would your career be any different? So the chart ruler is Pluto, the planet of power, transformation, and rebirth. And that means your work, whatever it is, has to mean something. You're here to transform, empower, and uncover. Nothing else will satisfy. Scorpio Rising crave careers that offer depth, power through mastery, privacy, and autonomy, in a sense of control or influence, an opportunity to transform others or the system. You're not afraid of dark stuff. In fact, you're wired to lean into the shadows, whether that's working in psychology, crisis response, forensics, finance, metaphysics, or even the arts. So here are some top Scorpio rising career paths: therapist, counselor, or shadow worker. You instinctively sense what others suppress. Careers in trauma healing, psychology, or coaching allow you to guide people through transformation, something you live yourself. Investigator, detective, or forensic analyst, you love solving mysteries, uncovering truths, and going where others won't. And whether it's a literal detective work or uncovering corporate secrets, you thrive on what's hidden. Financial strategist, tax expert, or wealth manager, the eighth house connection gives you a natural skill with other people's money. Taxes, investment, inheritance, you may even help people transform their financial lives. Occultist, astrologer, or energy healer. With your Pluto rulership, you deeply attuned to energetic undercurrents. You could thrive in spiritual professions, especially ones that involve deep healing intuition. Entrepreneur or power broker, Scorpio rising are often private empire builders. You might work behind the scene but still pull the strings. Power, not spotlight, is your lane. Artist or performer but with a message. If you go to creative route, your work usually explores dark, raw, or transformative themes. Think filmmakers, musicians, or writers who dive into taboo topics or emotional truths. So, career lessons for Scorpio rising. Controls isn't everything. You may start out trying to dominate your field, but your real growth comes when you learn to surrender and evolve. Burnout is real. You intensify means you give 110%, but you're not a machine. Build recovery time into your workflow. Your power is your presence. People sense you. You don't need to push. When you own your energy, you attract the right roles, clients, and opportunities. I want to add up in this podcast the midheaven because it's also uh, important for the Scorpio rising. So most of the Scorpio rising have Cancer midheaven, Leo midheaven, and Virgo midheaven. So for the Cancer midheaven, now we move into water on water energy. Your career may revolve around nurturing, healing, or protecting others. Cancer on the midheaven gives you a public persona that's warm, maternal, and emotionally intuitive. Even if Scorpio rising keeps your real emotion locked up, you may be drawn to careers like counseling, healing, arts, working with families, or real estate. Anything that helps people feel safe in a world you know can be dangerous. Your reputation might be that of a protector or caretaker, even it comes with emotional labor. Well, next is the Leo midheaven. Most Scorpio rising have this sign, Leo 10th house. This is a fairy combination. While Scorpio hides, Leo shines. You might feel a tension between craving privacy and needing recognition. So, careers in performance, leadership, or anything that puts you in the spotlight can be your destiny, but only if it aligns with your inner truth. Think psychologists with a public platform, artists who expresses inner shadows, or even a spiritual leader with dramatic flair. You want your work to matter, to be both admired and impactful. The last one, the Virgo midheaven. These ones bring a powerful analytical overlay. You're the shadow detective meets practical healer. Virgo MC wants to serve, fix, improve, while Scorpio rising wants to transform and dig deep. You could shine in research, therapy, medical fields, editing, or even data science. You bring a laser focus, an ability to pick up on what's not said, and a need for work that feels useful. This combo thrives when solving real problems, especially the kind most people are afraid to comfort. So just FYI, the midheaven is the our legacy. So make sure like this is how you want to be remembered by the people. It's the 10th house is the legacy of the Scorpio rising. And I want to add up the second house and the eighth house of Scorpio rising. Yes, because it's but this is for when you're using the whole sign. So let's take a moment, talk about the money and self-worth, two topics deeply influenced by your second and eighth house. Most Scorpio rising, if you're using the whole sign system, Sagittarius is the second house and Gemini is the eighth house. For Scorpio rising with Sagittarius in the second house, your relationship with money is adventurous, expansive, and often tied to freedom. You might make money through teaching, travel, publishing, or spiritual work. You're not here for a boring 9 to 5. You crave income stream that inspire, educate, or expand minds, especially your own. But here's the catch. Sagittarius can be overly optimistic or a bit scattered with money. So while you might attract abundance, it can slip through your fingers if you don't ground it. You value growth, learning, and freedom more than luxury. But when you're aligned, the money shows up in a surprising, even international ways. Now, on the flip to the other side, Gemini in the 8th house, this means your superpower lies in understanding the thoughts, patterns, and secrets of others. You have an almost psychic ability to decode other people's mind, especially when it comes to emotional or financial entanglements. You might attract money through partnership, collaboration, or intellectual investments. This placement is ideal for researchers, therapists, writers, or anyone who needs to communicate about what most people avoid. In your deepest transformation, they often come through words, conversation, or information that changes everything. So while Sagittarius in the second house is all about your personal values and freedom, Gemini in the eighth reminds you that other people's stories and your ability to hold them can be just as powerful. Together, they paint a picture of someone who thrives when they learning, teaching, and evolving, especially through the messy, fascinating layers of human experience. And so, if you're a Scorpio rising, know this. Your career path probably won't be easy, but it will be meaningful. You're not here to punch the clock. You're here to change lives, starting with your own. So, stay powerful, stay intentional, and remember when you follow the energy, the work finds you. Don't forget to subscribe, put comments, and share. So, until next time, and keep shining.